Okay.
It might take a little bit to see if we're live, though.
Again. Yeah, we are live.
We're live?
Yeah.
Our sound's
yes,
coming through?
all coming.
Alright, well then, I guess it's time for us to do the thing.
The thing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the weekly. We're already having technical difficulties. Weekly WAYPN. I'm Karl.
I'm Sunny.
AKA
Henry and Sangita.
And yes, last week was not a good week. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong, and then we got some even more bad news during the next week.
But we are still fighting on.
Yes.
Because things decided to work today.
So, if you're with us this week, come let us know in the comments.
Yes, and we are starting from last week. We are not skipping. We are starting, so it's going to be a massive week.
All right. So first off, I need you to read out the really long and lengthy thing that we've got for this one.
How things look together so far.
All right, where's the rest of it?
Oh my god, so long. I think I lost all my breath reading that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
we do see further progress.
We do see a lot of progress on this one. I think that with this one, Warren was trying out new skin tones and was trying to like build up from brown to like a more rich skin.
Perhaps, yeah.
But like had a few problems with trying to get it to work properly. Is that right?
It did seem that way.
Yeah, but I think like this was a good start. I think now you did something to show the way that you think would have really helped.
To progress from the latest update.
Oh, from the latest update.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that's the latest update, so...
Okay, well, how about we just take a look at it to sort of go with what you were on about. So, with this one right here, you were saying that, like, you just sort of progressively add, like, warm Anglo skin to it. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, like a contrast or something, because like if you glaze over the top, you might make the shadows look chalky with a lighter color.
Yeah.
So that's why I am maybe an ink or a contrast of some sort to bring the skin to a more warmer / tan looking skin.
What I do with brown skins usually is I'll bring them up from like something like that, but like I'll go very, very sort of warm with them. Like for example, when I did that Blood Bowl character that I made, which was closer to your skin tone.
Was it the witch? The witch?
Yeah,
yeah. I thought that was a very lovely.
And like it's very close to your skin tone, right?
I would say so.
Like my highlights were actually just Anglo skin tones.
Yeah, and the thing with this is that RJ was sort of going very instinctually with the way that he approached the skin. And skin is very much like non-metallic metal. You gotta go very darks to very bright brights.
To very brights,
But it gets very confusing because you need to also incorporate the blushes in the skin to make it feel very more lifelike.
I think that it's doubly hard because he's doing it on, I think these are called academic busts, are they?
Yeah, I wouldn't consider that an academic bust because it's pretty big and tall. But what an academic bust is the head, the neck, and up to about the shoulders.
Oh, okay.
So like busts go pretty crazy
anyway,
now.
so there's 2 marks against him because it's a female, and female skin requires a lot more smoothness than male skin.
Correct.
But yeah, let us move on. Now, let's see if I got this short video. Yay! It's working this time round.
Huzzah.
Now, I think Angela did really, really well on this one. because I think that like the little fruits come out quite nicely.
Yeah.
I think that, you know, it is what it is.
I really like this tree.
Yeah.
Do we have this tree in our set? The one that we use?
I don't think so, because I think this was one of the later ones where it was the.
Because I would love to have a frick ton of these trees because they remind me of the Pixie Hollow trees.
Oh, do they?
The style, the wispiness, the very nice flowing.
Yeah.
Enchanted looking tree. I really love it.
So I think it does exactly what a tree is meant to do. You know, like it's meant to be. It looks nice, right? But it's not going to draw too much attention. You know, it does what terrain pieces should do.
Although it is very nicely painted for a terrain piece.
Yeah.
You know, it won't detract from the models because of the nice sort of natural color scheme that she's gone for. Yeah.
All right, let us move on.
Now we got Thomas.
And he's an actual long one.
Nobody here in the chat.
No, yes. Just read your.
The kit bashing week post made me rethink my Iron Hands kill team. I didn't like how Rusty Brown dominated the black and how this level of weathering conflicts with their lore, as Henry said in the review video. So I decided to strip the paint and start anew. The question was how to make them both weathered, as I like things to be, and lore accurate. I took inspiration from guns. Until recent advent of ceramic protective coats, guns weren't painted black but oxidized in controlled manner. This made guns to weather in characteristic ways. I took an opportunity to add armor texture and airbrushed the Mini with Tamiya black. Next, I added some highlights with a mix of black, blue, and white. Next step was to dry brush it with gunmetal and lightly with silver. And that's the base coat done. This time, I'll probably go with white holsters and pouches instead of brown to increase contrast. Yes, if someone wonders what is that weird blue-green thing in some places, it's masking fluid. I use it as a temporary glue.
So, I think this is a better way for him to go. I agree with it. I think that the metal has come up very well. Like the way that he's used the Tamiya black and then he's dry brushed on the metal. I think that works quite a bit.
I think Peachy actually showed a little short on how to make realistic looking metal.
Oh.
And I think this was actually the method that he used. He used black and then he just dry brushed silver over top, and it really was very effective.
Well, I do think it can work, and I do think it's a lot better than this, because I think while this looks nice, it doesn't look very much like an Iron Hands to me, because like Iron Hands are a specific people and that is not him, you know.
Apologies.
Sorry, some of the members of the household are sick on top of everything else.
But I will say that the rusted version has more gravitas to it.
Yeah, but do remember that we're just starting out at the moment, right?
Yeah. And I think in my comment I said it looks nice for the moment, and the masking fluid as temporary glue is a very clever idea. But yeah.
All right, so let us move on to our next one, which was the 3 hobby tips to save your sanity.
Apparently.
And it wasn't this one, but the next one. This one didn't do well, but the next one did very badly. Yeah. But let us move on to more Thomas.
Okay, I need to click see more.
Click see more?
Yeah. It's still Kit Bash week, and I already stripped primer from part of my Iron Hand. So I used this opportunity to upgrade the captain a bit. I searched my bits box for something from AdMech kits I may use to make him more Iron Handish. And I found spare servitor guns from recent Typhon box. To attach it, I used parts of Power Pack add-ons from Cal Blasters. I cut all bits to smaller pieces and rearranged them so they fit better, as they may fall apart. Luckily, as they may fall apart every moment in this state. I drilled them and reinforced with brass wire. Luckily, I have 2nd Strike Force Justinian set, so I could make photos comparing Vanilla Captain with my Mechadendrite Abomination.
Alright, so what I wanted to say was I think this was one of the best pictures because I think it's a great way of showing the differences between the two.
Yeah.
Now, they're not crazy, but they're enough for somebody to look at this and go, especially when painted, go, oh, that's this guy.
Yeah.
Right? And if somebody looks at the model, they're like, all right, I know who this is meant to stand in for. You follow what I'm saying?
Once it's painted.
No, I'm saying, like, imagine that you're playing a game, right? This is a special character.
Yeah.
Right? But somebody wants to play it as their Iron Hands version.
Yeah.
You know exactly who this person...
Yeah, because majority of it is still the base of that captain. And then you just, like, change up a few bits to make it match your character.
Yeah. And I think that's when kit bashing is really great. When it's on the... like... It's similar enough to the original that somebody goes, oh, okay, I know what they're trying to... I know who this is. But look, they've done this, and they've done this, and they've done this, rather than just going, oh, what's this meant to be?
Like a bit of an adventure.
Yeah. All right, let us move on to the next bit.
We've got Kit Sunday Morning Whip. I'm back from vacation and was eager to try out the new Chimera goodies that arrived while I was gone. And since I had another orc bust handy, decided that would be an ideal test piece. I picked up the entire line of velvet concentrated inks but decided to just work with 2 sets for now. Primary colors in skin, leathers, and parchment, along with a couple of their new synthetic brushes. This, of course, leaves me with no green, forcing me to work more on mixing. I mixed together some phthalo blue and cold yellow to base coat the skin, and I hit the leather bits with a mix of alizarin crimson and sepia. First impressions are good. They are thicker than standard acrylic inks, which means they can be used for base coating. As expected, they mix beautifully and can easily be thinned down for glaze, washes, filters, etc. I doubt I'd use them for batch painting, but I think they will be great for display pieces.
All right. Well, I think it seems that we're both... Excuse us a moment. So I think he's doing exactly what he's talking about. He's, talking about his process, going through it and, trying out new things. But yeah, that's part of the process. And like, it's important to try out new things and see how you go with it. But yeah, it's a whip.
Yep.
All right, let us move on to... Oh, it's more Kit Strong. And I'm just going to read this one out just quickly.
Thank you.
Okay. Sunday Whip Part 2. Mix some magenta and blue to get some nice rich violet to use as a shade for the skin and start in the creases. The tusks are papyrus and white. For the gums I mixed alizarin, crimson and magenta. Alright, let's take a look at that. Alright, the lips have come up pretty well. There could be a bit more shadowing with the green. But yeah. Yeah, it looks
nice.
Looks good, but I think the teeth are a bit too white,
Yeah, well, the thing I often find with Kit's pieces is that I think he could definitely push contrast a bit more. And as much as I really love the airbrushed smoothness, I think with the airbrush smooth, you can actually push the contrast of colors a bit more. You don't have to be too afraid of like getting the blends incorrect with high contrast colors. So I think if you did that, I think it would really punch up the way that your models look, because so you've got a nice lovely sort of emerald green, which is a nice cool tone blue tone green. So maybe just highlight with like a yellow tone green on the top.
Yeah.
Like close to a chartreuse or something.
So just push more, in other words.
Push more, yeah, because like he mostly does his paintings with the airbrush. So like why not take advantage of that?
Yeah, alright.
So,
well,
yeah.
let us move on to even more kit.
Yeah, playing with a new product means I need to test out some new Skinnathol formulas, and you know what that means. The return of Batista. Using the airbrush and diluting with distilled water, I covered up a previous paint job with a black and white Zenithal.
So I think just here he's just walking us through his process, and that's part of it. But let's move on because, it's just explaining, doing Zenithal skin.
Yes.
All right. So next up, we have RJ. And this is where it changed significantly.
Yeah. Wanted to do a dark skin tone, but didn't feel like stressing about things, so I just followed the brush. And here we are now. Not what I planned, but we'll make the best of it.
I think that she make a very interesting vampire Aztec priestess.
Yeah, because like the skin looks very sort of ashy.
Yeah.
And like dead, but very beautiful still.
Yeah.
I think like it's perfect as like skin. Like he's achieved it very well. So like I think you're right. Like he could have gone for like vampire Aztec priestess or something. Maybe draw some white teeth, like fangs along the lower lip or something.
Maybe, or just have a trickle of blood or something, or like I think it's fine as is, because I mean, like, you've got all of these death heads icon sort of things.
I think a little trickle of blood would really tell a good story, because it ties in very nicely to the viper below.
Yeah.
So it's almost like saying she is the viper.
All right. Let us move on to.
Just saying.
Joseph's got quite a bit to say, but let's get through it.
So, end of weekend progress update. I'm enjoying not painted towards a deadline again. Much more relaxed, and I feel happier putting the extra effort in. These models are from Kingdom Death's pinup range, and that's why they are scantily clad. They are painter's pieces designed to sit on a shelf, not models meant to be seriously taken as part of the game world. I'm trying to paint a little more clothing to make them feel a little more plausible, a bit more CRPG chainmail bikini, even if I can't take them to fully armored with. That is fair enough. If it is just, as much as it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
To be armored in nothing but a tube top and G-string.
But look, they're pinups. They know, are pinups. Like, they know exactly what they are. And exactly. Like, I don't think that there's anything wrong with doing pinup models. I do think we've seen certain models on My Mini Factory where we go, wow, these are very P. Yeah, we go, wow, these models are very tasteful. Very, elegant, very subdued compared to some of those other ones. So like,
there was one, the bunny girl one by KDM, but on the nose.
No, there's some that are pretty intense, but I mean, like, compared to how far some people go, these are just,
the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, they're utterly tasteful.
Sorry, folks, I had to blow my nose.
Alright, so next up we have marvelous painting.
Level painting.
Yes, that was... I got... Yeah.
Okay, marvelous. Thanks for the ad. Might not be able to see the difference for these two models, but each has had an additional 10 hours of work into them with Gen Con 2025 so close. I need to get them done ASAP.
So here is what this guy looked like before.
And it looks very nice.
And now, here is what he looks like. He's a lot more subdued, a lot less intense. And see, one of the reasons why I asked him for those pictures is so that we can sort of see the transformation. So it seems like here, he's a lot closer to that idea of the pre-heresy Death Guard. Like, of course, he's transformed in a Nurgle plate.
Nurgle Mothman.
Yes, but despite that, it's still a like, it's got that white armor. You know, I shouldn't say white. I should say cream.
It does feel a bit Disney-esque with the color scheme.
Yep.
It's got the nice fresh creams.
And
lovely sort of desaturated and saturated purples with your greens.
And this is what it becomes.
Yeah, that one feels a bit more grim dark. But then again, I can't tell if that's just a lighting difference.
No, because like we see that the wings are significantly different, right? Yeah. They're much more sort of like
pale green. Then.
Yeah, like almost a pastel.
Yeah.
And then here, they're a much more sort of sickly green, right? And also, it's not the only one which he did updates on.
I love the slant.
So here is Lord Croak, the oldest of all of the Slan. Now, I'm not sure about the base, and so I wanted to talk about a bit about the bases later, but one of the things is with this, I don't think that the non-metallic metal came through quite as well as he had hoped. So I'll close this guy and switch over to this, right? And see, here's his non-metallic metal. And to me, it looks a lot closer to sandstone, if you see what I'm saying.
I guess I can see like the sort of ancient sandstone look.
Do you think it looks like gold?
I think some areas look like gold and others don't really translate. Like that section over there. Like that doesn't that particular spot doesn't really look gold to me. But the actual circular trims bit actually looks like it could be gold.
So you're saying this area, or are you saying those all areas, of it?
The circular sections look like gold.
Well, I wouldn't quite agree, but when it comes to basing, now, so we entered Raging Hero competitions, and one of the things that was said in those things is don't use static grass and tufts, and certainly don't use them like raw. Now, this is one of the things that, like, it seems like you're going to Gen Con for a specific purpose, right? To do the best you can in the painting competition. And the reason that I highlight this, right, is find out what the judges like. You know, do your best to do your research, right? Because the problem with this is that this could either be absolutely fantastic, your absolute highlight, or it could be the thing that drops you from 3rd to 7th, right? And unfortunately, I don't know the answer to that, right? Because every judge's personal opinion is different. So you have to decide things based off what you know about the event. But if I was you, I'd just do a bit of research into the event, what the judges like, what they dislike, whether they want high contrast, whether they want, you know, whatever it is that they want. Because some people don't like mood pieces, other people love them.
Yeah.
You know,
depends on the competition.
Yeah, some people want you to show technical precision. Other people want to see artworks.
Yeah.
And
concept.
Yeah, and this is the problem, that you don't know who you're making this for at the moment. Or like, I'm assuming that you don't, based off this because of what I said before. Maybe you know perfectly, but that's just a bit of advice that I want to throw out there, so you've got that in your arsenal. So I want to wish you luck, and keep those brushes wet.
Yeah.
Alright, so next up we have... Oh, it's me. I talked about Member Monday, and about how we don't have to grow infinitely. Alright, after that, it's Navi.
Oh.
We haven't seen Navi for a little while.
Yeah, I'm back. I don't just mean in painting, but more so in Warhammer LOL. I recently grabbed the Skaven type box at like a good 20% discount, and while I will be keeping the Stormcast half, my friend wanted me to paint up her Claw Lord. So here's a preview. As usual, I'm too lazy to paint the base after 6 hours straight of a painting session. Lol.
Well, I think, I will reserve complete judgment until it's completed. But as it stands, it looks pretty nice. Yeah, what do you think? Because we've actually been working with these pieces a bit.
Yeah, we have. And I think we've also gone for a similar concept of like the burgundies or purple and green combo. But Navi has really pushed that purple and green combo.
Yeah.
And it looks very much like in the under sewerage, And you've got the green glow of the warp stones coming through. And you've got the purple light of the under sewers, or wherever the rats live, coming through. And they really do look sort of sickly. And it looks like more environmental light has...
And that's why I wanted to reserve judgment until the base was done, because what a lot of people do is have this be sort of green sludge and have a glow coming up from here.
Okay.
And so with that, I think it's a very good paint job, but like you said, because we take a look at the base... And, there's nothing wrong with this, guys, right? Because, you use the airbrush to set all your values and your colors and then come in and paint a bit more. But it looks as if, the base and the model are the same color sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that's okay for now because it's a whip, but it's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
All right. So, next up, it's done. Would you like to read out?
Minor fixes like finishing or adjusting bases and calling these done. Added grass to the Reaper, a quick lava base for the rat. That vanished on the ship, and black paint on the base. I love everything, but the grass just looks a bit too yellow.
Yep. That's the same thing.
It looks like dried spaghetti.
Who's this?
It's a rat. A rat.
Where he come from?
He's a very smart-looking rat, or someone who is supposed to be conniving and backstabbing and living in the sewers, but...
I don't know.
He's a very smart-looking rat.
I think very rusty weapon.
Very rusty, but the armor... Is the armor rusted?
Seems that way to me. This armor seems less rusted.
Yeah.
This armor seems not so rusted.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's very clean and pristine, that's for sure.
I wonder how an underhanger's going to look. Are we going to see an underhanger?
Is there an underhanger?
Let's see. We got...
Look at this literal Dorito chip. Advanced Dorito.
Advanced Dorito.
Very
well
we're
not seeing the underneath. We're just seeing spaghetti.
Spaghetti. This
is the quality entertainment people don't tune in for.
I think, Larry, if you are able to maybe...
Hey, Ghost, how you doing?
Finally, somebody is
when you say it sounds like you were desperate the whole time.
Yeah, oh well.
It's alright.
I'm not feeling well, so...
Yes.
May I blow my nose?
All right. Next up, we have even more Larry.
Larry, the robot madam is close to done.
Robot madam?
Yeah. I need to add a couple of washes for depth. But other than that, I just need to base it. Hey, Ryan, welcome. Not sure what to do, so I think we've already covered your post earlier as well.
In this one, no, we haven't talked.
Oh yeah, that's later on. Sorry. Yeah, I'm mixing things up. Yeah, not sure what to do. I'm looking for suggestions. Green is Warp Lightning contrast. Black is Black Legion contrast. May change it later. Eyes are Tesseract Glow. Really happy with the eyes. Undecided on the black. No highlights on the green. So far, so good. Yes.
So, let's take a look.
Hey, good boy. Hello.
How do you submit for the WAYPN reviews? Is it just posting to the Facebook?
Yes, correct. Yeah, you just posted on Facebook.
But to be fair, just so you know, Gobby, all when it comes to that, we do each week from the start of the stream to
so the stream thumbnail post where we say like 30 minutes till we're live.
Yeah, that's where we end.
Yeah, that's where we end. So if you post after that thumbnail post, we won't cover it till the next week.
Yeah, because we're actually covering 2 weeks for this one week. Because last week, well, things went wrong. This week things went wrong, but not on stream, thankfully. Because if that went wrong on stream, well, wow.
Ghost, sorry, I should say Bear. Bear, I'm good, just missing Penguin. Man, he does a lot. I'm shocked he has not gone mad yet. What makes you think he hasn't?
Yeah, that's like when I saw that. But you know what I realized? This robot madam's breasts are very misplaced. Like they look more like shoulders.
The shoulders.
Well, see, like, but the way that they're sort of like. It's like a boob window sort of thing.
Yeah.
And like it makes it sort of look very off.
It is very off.
You're like, what are you doing there? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Okay.
So it's
I do like that it's sort of more two colors now. Like I think all the reds and the burgundies were sort of melding together previously, but now there is much better differentiation. And where is this model from? He's the wackiest models.
It is a crazy model, but I think that this guy's come up really well. I do think that the weapon needs quite a bit more work, but I do think
OSL.
But I do think that the eyes came out nicely.
I love the base of the gold. Nice and sort of old gold looking.
So, another thing I wanted to comment on is this basing. I really, really like this basing. I think it looks quite nice. Like, for me, I can almost picture where this is. You know, this is like near the surf club, near the beach, right? Where like those sort of wild grasses come through before like the lawn grass kicks in, sort of thing. You following what I'm saying?
I think so.
Yeah, and like it seems like that, and I really like the way that all of the rivers done and all of that, and I think it's great. It just helps
to show the scale a bit more.
Yeah. I think it really does help show exactly what this is.
And you don't have a lot of room on those hexagonal bases either, so that's a good way to show things.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it looks good. Like, yeah, I'd be very happy with that basing.
Yeah.
All right. So, let us move on from this blank slate.
Oh, yeah. You had to print it. Did he print it out or just put that caption on top?
Alright, so, this was back when we could stream, and we did stream.
Yeah.
And people watched the stream. And if you open it up, you'll still be able to see the stream. And
not sure about that.
Yeah, no, because it's unlinked. Sorry,
unlisted.
Unlisted.
Yeah, so you won't be able to see it.
No, they'll be able to see it. But anyway, there's this lady. Sure. So, if somebody was, say, for example, in the Discord, I'm just saying, if somebody was in the Discord and, say, for example, some guy named Karl jumped into the Discord in, for example, the stream room, they'd be able to tell us what they think of what Sunny's been doing. All right, well, Sunny, it's time for you to do the words.
Whip Wednesday. Here's what I've worked on so far. Fur for the Wolf Rider and still working on my Teikoku guys. Join us on stream in 5 minutes for our usual Whip Wednesday painting session.
Mm-hmm. And
these aren't the best pictures, but I just wanted
to
put something real quick in there. And...
Alright, well, then if that's the case, do you want me to move on?
Yeah.
Sure you don't want me to say stream gang or something like that?
Sure, you can say that.
Okay. You sure?
Yes.
Like gang. Alright, so next up we have...
Oh boy.
Ryan.
This man. Oh, okay. I guess there's someone after that man.
Whoa, there's a lot.
Yeah. Whip Wednesday. I used an incredibly easy method for laying out the base colors for the armor. I did a super fast Zenithal Prime using rattle cans from At the Color Forge matte black base, Pyrex brown mid, and Sanguine red high. This pre-shaded the Berserker with the pure red as the highlight running into a warm brown shadow with black in the absolute deepest crevices. The armor trim was done with 2 coats of Enchanted Steel Speed Paint 2.0 from the Army Painter. This gave a great near black metallic. The bronze is 2 coats of Tainted Gold War Paints Air Army Painter. The blacks Under Armor / Bolter / Chain Axe were done with Grim Black Speed Paint 2.0 AP. Okay, AP meaning Army Painter. The leatherwork, glove / axe handle / loincloth were done with Dark Wood Speed Paint. The skull was done with Charred Bone Base and Skeleton Bone High. War Paints Air. Now wash with Pallid Bone Speed Paint 2.0 and Dark Tone Acrylic Wash. Then the Berserker was washed with a 50/50 Goons Grime. I carved the damned enamel washes after seeing the Feral Painter's excellent Berserker tutorial on YouTube. I left the wash sit for 20 minutes plus a quick pass with the higher dryer before initially using dry disposable makeup brushes, followed by further cleaning pass with the sponge damp with the mineral spirits. I have also added some battle damage sponge chipping and plan to further add some weathering with rust and verdigris effects.
Well,
there's a lot.
It is a lot, but what do you think?
I think there is more at a later stage.
Yeah, but I mean the other pictures.
It's very clean, like in terms of the paint job. But I really love that sort of dark black brown to red, because it really gives that sort of like dirty armor look from in the shadows. And it really gives that sort of grim dark look, because you've got those lovely desaturated reds, and then you've got the golds are not like super bright golds, like golden golds, but like they...
Sorry, I had to laugh because when you said that, you know, you did the black girl.
Did I say that?
No, just the way you did with your head. Because you also had your hand up while you were doing it.
Like how bright goes. And it just sort of contrasts very nicely against the red. I think you did such a good job.
I'm surprised that it looks so clean with Goons Grime, because Goons Grime does have texture to it, right?
Yeah, you can see a little bit of that sort of
but like barely, right? So like, it's
that grit is what people are looking for the grim dark feel, that little noise.
But yeah, just a little noise, like you said, not a lot,
not
just a little
noise, just small corn noise. And he's got
small corn noise because they don't want to fall to Slanesh.
You see, he's got his little keychain.
His keychain.
His keychain on the pauldron.
Oh, okay, yeah. He's that's.
I'm not impressed by the Berserker design. I will.
Why are you not impressed by the Berserker design?
Go and watch Design versus Lore. They're world eaters.
I love how you keep doing all of these things where you're just like you think you have a camera on you and you're like and I'm just like, there is no camera here.
Bear said that corn Berserker looks good.
It does look good. But there is one thing that is very sad. I have no drink because you stole my drink from me.
I didn't.
And then you said it's now plague drink. It looks like it's Angela Bassett.
Oh, yes.
This, I think, is one of her best works, but please read out.
Yeah, finish this guy up. As usual, hard to see because I mostly painted at night. I'll try to get pics in the light soon. I really love these DM stash minis for character practice. They have so many fun details. What I like about the pants is that it's got a little bit of that glossiness and it gives it a bit of that sexy vibes, you know?
Those sexy vibes.
Yeah, because it looks like very muscular legs, right? And that sort of gloss makes it look like those latex pants. But because it's like a dark red and a black, it has that sort of masculine power feel.
Oh, okay.
And you've got the nice sort of silver trim stitches between each color stripe.
Yeah, I do really like the stitches between each color. I think it really does help sort of sell the idea of these pants.
The only thing I say to improve on is the face. The face looks like dusted on powder.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So I think maybe smoothing out a little bit of blends on that front or using a small brush to sort of manually create some feathering along the edges of the lighter browns to make it look more like fur. But I think everything else is pretty spot on.
Yeah. No, I would agree.
You got your lion boxer fella.
Alright, on to our next one. It seems
Larry.
Some sort of Larry.
Larry, once he has his little blackboard, he just couldn't stop. Brief session. Highlighted the staff blades with a dry brush of white because I didn't think the edges were quite bright enough. Then went over it with gauze green again. Not sure if this looks good or needs to be brighter. Added gauze green to the little balls of the tabard and then on the designs on his chest pieces. And I just now realized I forgot to do the forehead thing. Cape is phthalo green blue shade, highlighted up with warp lightning, warp stone, and gauze green. The base was hard to get a good color on. It just would never highlight the way I want, so I put a gloss coat over it so I can start the glow effects. The green there was just a test.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I think
it's not easy. Wait, what?
It's not easy being green.
Yeah. Is that from Grinch or something?
It's from somewhere, definitely. Somewhere.
I like the green on.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
I like the green on the armor though.
Yeah, I think that looks good, but I still think like this needs quite a bit of work. But yeah, also I don't know what color to have the orb because
the orb's fine. All he needs to do is to really just punch up the OSL effect. So like focus on contrast of kind rather than contrast of tone or color. They've got that super bright light coming in, and the others are a bit more like dim light or something. That'll be good.
Alright, well, one sec. We'll move on to the next one in just a second. Alright, so let's move on.
Okay, we've got Diego Vallejo.
Who is doing...
Is he the creator of Vallejo?
Yes.
Sawtech Necron Overlord. I think it looks really good.
Is it too late for this week's review? Yes, for this week's review. But we review every week, even if we have a catastrophe and our internet is out.
So just post it up, go boy, but it just will be reviewed next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the sooner you do it, the sooner you'll be first on the review.
I would like to know if Mr. Vallejo used Vallejo.
Well, what if he didn't?
Then I would be personally quite upset. Well, I think he did a great job. I think he did a good job.
I like how you still haven't read the post.
No, I did. Sawtech Necron Overlord.
Is that how you meant to say it? Sawtech?
Then how do you say it?
I don't know.
Sautech. Like a Tau. No, like it's not Tau. It's actually Tauva or something like that.
Oh my god.
Tau.
Sautech.
Sautech.
That sounds like some Indonesian college.
It does. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. International, baby. Like, what is that? Pig sow?
Yeah, like a pig sow.
What is that?
I always pronounce it Sautech.
Yeah, it's Sautech, right? See, I was right. I was correct.
I thought you pronounced it Sawtech.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I did pronounce it as Sawtech, so it's Sautech. I guess you might be right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pig sow. Mm-hmm,
Sawtech of Karl
Saute vegetables.
Oh my god.
Well,
this is who I'm dealing with. I will let her comment. I'm just gonna float off.
I think the blade is pretty nice. The blade, it's pretty good.
I think that the blade is the part that I think needs most work.
In what sense?
So, see these little circles here, right? They either need to be much darker or much brighter. These little circles there.
Yeah, so like I always start off those Necron circle dash thingies more like runes. So I always think of it as it needs to have that white WAYPN wash. And then it's got to have that Tesseract glow running through that, you know, like that's just my brain. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be glow in there. You could use whatever green that you have used for the, I'm just going to call it the scythe. I know it's like starts with a G or something, the weapon. And
scythe?
Yeah, that weapon starts, the name of it starts with a G. I just don't remember what it's called.
The G-Man.
Yeah. So you just darken it down with black and then just sort of pin wash it through just to create a bit more contrast. And that's it.
I think that everything else looks pretty good. I do think that, you know, he could push the glow quite a bit and the basing needs some work because there is not 3 elements here.
Yeah.
And nobody likes tactical rock, so you don't count tactical rock when they're...
Yeah, tactical rock is to be implemented. Sort of, it's an accent rock.
An accent rock.
You need more rocks to accent the accent rock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
More rocky.
More rock or plant. Or
at least 3 elements.
What we did for our Necron base, which we thought was quite nifty, was I think you just grab like some mixed grade sand that we mixed up, and then you put in some black pastel chalk, like shave some in there, pigment sticks if you like, and you just mix it up to turn the sand black, and then you can put like little green clear plastic bits.
I think the green clear plastic bits are a good idea, but I'm not as sure about doing the chalk. I don't think that worked out well, in my opinion.
I thought it worked out great.
It
looked like black sand. I liked it.
Well,
don't listen to Karl.
I think I stuffed it.
Doesn't know what it's
Iskander.
Is it Iskander?
Yes.
What you say, Iskander? Hey, long time no see. Touched up my old plate caster for my 1000 Death Guard army. I think it looks good, but no picture.
There used to be a picture here last week.
Oh, the Facebook attack, Iskander.
Okay,
I'm sure that's what happened.
Yeah. So I do
insights.
remember, like, it was a lot more sort of classic when we looked at it.
I remember it, yeah.
Yeah, because, like, we looked at it last week, but then things went wrong and maybe he felt as if... I'm not sure. Like,
Well, Tim definitely said there was a huge improvement, but unfortunately for us...
no longer here.
Picture gone.
Let's see whether the Facebook response. Oh, image no.
Image
longer
no.
Here.
Okay.
I pressed the enter button. It worked.
All right, we're moving on, guys.
We're moving on, and it's more Kit Strong.
For the sake of time, I'm sorry, Kit, but I'm just gonna not read all of it. What started off looking like productive week quickly turned south as I seemed to have returned from vacation with a very nasty stomach bug. Just as I was starting to feel a bit more like myself, an unexpected delivery arrived of an all-forgotten Kickstarter, Runa by Ludus Magnus Studios.
Yep, so like just got some priming in, and that's good. Yeah. It's part of the process.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just talking about his process and all of that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And like that's part of the process, but yeah.
For the sake of time.
Yeah, because we got 2 weeks worth of stuff to get through, and it's almost already an hour in.
We've got Joseph. I feel
there is an update.
Yes.
These hoes are looking clothed.
I thought we're not meant to say that.
Oh, aren't we?
No.
Okay, these 304s are looking clothed.
Yeah, the 304s are looking extra 304-y. So I feel like I'm nearing the end for 5 of them.
Oh my god.
Although I'm sure there's a lot of work to go. Already eyeing the next builds though. Gotta have the next project ready to go before I finish. You know that one with the whip in the middle?
No, look at this one with the whip at the bottom. Like the face is so melted.
Yeah.
But look, you know, this area is very well sculpted.
Oh my goodness. So she's just holding up her boobies?
Yes, it does seem that way.
And who's she gonna whip without a bra on?
She seems embarrassed by this, but I don't know if this is meant to be a mask. I don't know what's going on here.
So that's hair? Yes?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening here. I do not know what's happening here.
And this is not your fault, Joseph. It's just a sculpt. I don't know what's happening with
no one knows what's happening. We do know that this lady has a very whippy whip.
I like that lady. Like I really,
you like this lady?
I saw that on Pinterest, and I really wanted to paint that model. But we'll never get there. So
why will we never get there? Why have to be negative, huh?
Because we got other people to paint.
I do have other people to paint.
We've got many people to paint.
I've got other objects to paint now. All right, well...
But I do love the turquoise. Whatever he's using for the turquoise.
Yeah, it's quite nice. It's quite nice.
I wonder if it's that Abiltong, that German...
Abdul?
You know, the German paint, the
Achtung.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's called, Achtung.
It's just Achtung?
Who
made that? What's that from?
I've got no idea.
Polish? What is that? German?
Yes.
Okay.
Achtung
is 505 or something like that. Anyway.
You're anyway.
Okay.
Thomas!
I like how the texture came out on the cloth parts, especially the brown grey ones.
Alright.
Which one are we talking about? Still talking about Joseph?
Yeah, so I think that's this like one here.
Bits. Yeah.
But
did you know, Thomas, she's only in her underwears? He painted the pants on. It's very, very impressive.
Alright, so next up, we got Chris Shah.
Chris! Missed painting update last week as I was busy scraping mold lines, but finished my first squad in character for my new Space Wolves. Scraping lines. I hate scraping mold lines.
Everyone does.
You can never scrape enough mold lines.
No one can.
And
I tell you what, the battle damage on this is fantastic. Look at that.
Look at that chipping.
Yeah, it's really good.
Hey, Thomas, what do you think of this? What do you think of this kind of like chipping? Because you were sort of trying to figure out.
I think that could be good for the Iron Hands.
And Thomas said, yeah, I remember those models from previous weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So currently we are doing last week's because unfortunately things went very wrong. I think you were there.
Yes, he was actually. He was
and
being
he's
very
like,
encouragement.
it does not help us.
I think these guys look like absolutely classic in
Space
the book
Wolves.
Space Wolves. I would say that the red cape could looking a bit on the glossy side, but whatever.
It's not quite as like it doesn't have the same level of effort put into it that the power armor does. I feel
I would have to agree, but then again, this is pretty intense.
Yeah, I do think that the fur on this guy could also be brought up quite a bit. That yellowish sort of tone to it just feels a little off, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it might feel a bit more like a leathery color rather than like a fur color, I guess.
Yeah, well,
so like maybe like a dry brush, just the tips with like a lighter tan tone.
Well, I actually think it needs a more deep brown put into it and then brought up from there. Because, I feel at the moment that it looks quite yellowy. It doesn't...
I don't necessarily mind it, though. I think it sort of fits the color scheme.
Yeah, but see, I think it doesn't feel as natural because you've got these bright yellow shoulder pads. And when it almost fits that yellow, it throws things off quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, let us... Oh, but... Excellent basing, as always. He does great basing.
Yeah.
Alright, so moving on.
Righto.
We have...
Thomas! What this?
What this?
Just a little update this time. I tried the idea of painting holsters, pouches, and belts in white. I chose Jack Tan as a base, as it is a warmer side, which should contrast nicely with rather cold armor, and it worked fine. Usually I use rubber black for under armor layer, but I saw artworks of Iron Hands with it being almost white and decided to try something similar. But instead of white, I used bluish grey, French blue to be specific. Lastly, I decided to break rather muted overall colors with more punchy details, like the hazard striped hoses on heavy intercessor. Okay, so we've got Bear. I have always liked the Space Wolves color scheme. Tomas say something in Russian.
I don't think that's Russian.
Oh, it's not. It's
Just read the next bit.
The chipping is good in terms of technique, but should concentrate more around the edges and protruding spaces.
So
yeah, I guess so.
I understand completely why you went for white leather, but I do think some are a lot more successes than others. Like this one, I think has come out pretty well. But there was these ones here I don't think came out as well. Now, might also be because of their shape and my experience, but to me, you know what they look like to me? Once I say it, you won't be able to unsee it.
I don't want you to tell me, because it looks like cow's hide kind of leather pouch.
No, to me, looks like one of those old, crumpled up, discarded cigarette packets.
Oh. I guess. I can see what you are saying. I can see what you're saying. But that was not like my immediate first impression.
What was your immediate first
impression? Like cow's hide. Like the sort of thin cow's hide.
Thin cow's hide.
Yeah, like not the thick one, the thin ones.
Printed cardboard after being ripped off. Like split trading card. Oh, it does look like a split trading card.
The Iron Hands.
Yes. Yeah. I
think it. I'm sorry. I think it's good in terms of contrast.
Yes. See, and like that's the. And I think like that's the hard part. But I do think it can be done well because like this one over here looks really good in my opinion.
Yeah, like it looks like cow's hide.
Yeah. I don't think cow's hide. It looks like an old sort of stained medical bag to me.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I think it's very much sort of a Rorschach test. It's like, what have you experienced in life to make you think that this thing looks like that thing? You know? Because like, I'm talking about cigarette packets. One of you guys is talking about ripped trading cards. Another one of us is talking about thin cowhide. So, because like, I know how much effort he puts into these things, which is a lot more than zero, and so I want to give him good, proper advice. Not just
Ryan thinks that the armor plate looks.
Yeah, no, the armor plate does.
I would
good.
say it's a great sort of recipe for metallic black. You know. I think it's great.
Well, I think we should move on.
Aha! And we have RJ.
More RJ.
Yeah, but as we said,
this is the piece that you edited off.
Got a bit more done this week. Still a lot of refining to do. Gonna add some kind of tribal / war paint on some point. At some point, gotta also go back and tweak the eyebrows. They just aren't looking right to me. You know why? They're too dang bright. So if you take a look at blondes, they don't have blonde eyebrows. They have brown eyebrows.
It depends. There are blondes with blonde eyebrows.
But in this case, I think if you just toned it down with like a darker wash over it, you'll find that it fixes the problem. And my only thing I would say is that it looks like you were trying to do a blush there.
Yeah,
but it looks very Pikachu-y right now. Because it's just like a little triangular patch on the face. So I
just have this idea of Vampira. You know, like Pikachu.
Pika.
You know, except he's like Vampira.
Ew, so cringe. Don't do it, honey. I mean, them eyes, them eyeballs.
Oh, the eyes are fantastic.
So crystal clear, man.
Like, it's...
Look at that.
Especially considering the scale, you're just
I just feel like painting my eyeballs like that. I mean, not my eyeballs, but like, you know, the models that I have with like that. But I don't know if I can. But yeah, it's looking great, RJ. I think, as you said, you wanted to try deeper skin tones. Perhaps a glaze over top with a ink or a wash.
All right. Well,
but yeah.
Next up, we've got Angela Bassett, our local painter.
She's not a local painter.
For the Critical Role episode.
Now that he's been on screen, I painted the jailer for tonight's episode of Critical Role, Age of Umbra. Mini is from a Basterium Games.
Yeah, they do really, really great grimdark sort of models.
This looks like that one Slaanesh Fat Man model that RJ did.
Yes, that's because it was made by them.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so yeah, that is from the Basterium model range.
Makes sense. Okay, then it's not technically Slaanesh.
Not technically, but also yes.
Yes. I was experimenting with different approaches. Yep, armor plate looks good. I love the dull grey white leather. It's a good contrast for the dark armor.
Yeah, that's for the previous.
For previous one. This is an incredible piece. Fantastic model from Basterium. Yes, indeed. I think the skin came out really nice. And you've got a lovely tortured skin pink.
Hello, Ducky.
Ducky. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. But man, take a look at that spine sword or whatever that whip thing.
Spine whip? Yeah.
Oh, there's a video.
Well, it says the video has no sound, but it definitely has sound.
Oh.
I don't know why it says it has no sound.
It's got a fuzz?
No, it's like, ooh. Like that.
That's interesting.
Like, I can hear the click of the stuff in the background, and I'm like, that is not no noise.
Oh, well.
But yes, I think it's a great model. You know, absolutely fantastic.
Any feedback that we should be getting?
Okay, so let's take a look at it. This is it during the episode, I do believe. So let's take a look at the basing. Basing is good. The bones feel quite yellow. They could be brought more to a bonus sort of color. Let's see. I like the grey mostly. I think it's come up a lot to a white sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But we don't get to see that as much in camera because it starts to blur out sort of thing, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we see that a bit more here, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rust looks good. It's more a preference for me. I probably just would have dabbed with some Dirty Down. It looks like this was done with a bit of contrast or something like that. Or either that or the yellow rust. Yellow rust is not my jam. Let's take a look. Looks good.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, there's nothing here. I guess the black of the cloak could be
a bit
deepened.
More yeah.
But I mean, like, let us move on to our next Larry.
First, sorry for the busy background, but something I couldn't find was reflecting red on the river water where I usually take pictures, and it looked wrong. Anyway, I used a lake blue alcohol ink on the water surface to give it color. I like alcohol inks since they're great for transparent effects. Retouched some of the foam effect and added a little more at the rocks so they are better integrated into the water. Airbrushed white over the lights, then airbrushed green and red. The Global green.
Global
green looks rather good, I think. But I need to do some adjustments on the red. Probably add some stronger red like what I had originally back over the bulb at a minimum. Yes, Bear, it's a timber wolf. Indeed.
Yes, indeed. We have South Africa representing for Larry here. So I didn't mind it before. I don't think, like, this seems to me more of a style update than anything else. Like, it doesn't make me go, ooh, like, that's...
I'm not so sure about that blue. It just feels like too deep, like, you know, like in the ocean.
Yeah.
I feel like if it was just sort of like a bit of an aquarish color to clear.
I think it was good before. I'm not saying it's bad here. I'm just saying, like, my tastes were more with how it was before.
Me too.
I think that the lights are a massive improvement now because they do look much more like lights.
Yeah.
So before it, like, now it looks like a light with the way that it's got the surrounding colours and so on.
Indeed.
Yeah, it does look like a light.
Yes.
Right? But I also like how he shows us exactly what he's using.
He's got, like, all these strange brains.
He does.
Where does he find?
What is... Okay.
Oh, what this
all right.
I see.
Well, this one is from Maggot. Now, I do believe people were asking me about the basing last time, and the basing was super, super, super simple. So Tomas said about that. You know what? Look, it's not. Oh, people can't because the chat's in between here.
See,
I'll take
people
the chat.
only care about your base.
I'll take down the chat for. Shh. I have to talk about this. Look, see, there you go. It wasn't hidden by me for once in all of existence.
Well done.
It's just because it's such a ridiculous machine.
But isn't it such a shire grass?
But so with this, what I did was I just did Calidor's cream. put in one of these pieces of slate rock, and then just drizzled some, I think it's called Battlefield Rubble by Army Painter, which is sort of just a mid-grit sort of Stoneman band, English first language. So I just drizzled a bit of that over, and then I put them in the grass, and these little bits just prevented grass from forming there, and that was it.
It is about the base, no rubble.
Yes, I get the song reference.
Yes.
But yeah, so that was about it. All right. So
now that's the end of last week's post. So now we are starting once again.
What is happening? Why? Huh? I was there, and then it's okay. Something is happening.
Something is happening.
All right. So what? Okay. Something.
Will you need to refresh this page?
I think I am going to need to refresh this page, but you can read.
Righto. Okay, we've got Ryan. One moment. Added an OSL/glow effect for the eye lenses late last night. Just a few more touches and I will say he's finished. Just another 49 to go. If you like this, please check out my Instagram at FatmanScrambles. Man, those skulls. Actually, I've seen many skull bases, and that skull base actually gives me the chills. Like, now that's good job. Because like with the blood there and like that's
it good. Does feel like an otherworldly realm here.
Yeah, like it does feel like a torture zone, that's for sure. And we got Tomas say technique isn't that important. Composition is a thing that makes bases great, and those bases had perfect composition.
Thank you very much, sir.
Who else would have good composition but the bass king?
Who's the bass king? I don't know.
Well, I think Brushstrokes is very good.
I see.
Yes.
Going off to see Brushstrokes.
Yeah.
It's
I
alright.
Support other channels.
It's fine. I just know what I have to do now.
Wow, look at that. That is a shot, man.
Also, like, I saw it before, but the chipping looks great here. Like, once you rim that base, I think this will really come up a lot. But, like, that's all I have to say. I think that the basing is really good, and he managed to have the rock there, so he's got his 3 elements. Yeah. You know, blood, skulls.
Boy, look at that.
Oh.
Look at that. Oh! A video. Look at that.
This one also had sound.
My videos never turn out like this. What am I doing wrong?
Woman.
Fine, you take it then. You take all the pictures and videos.
No.
You take it all. And that'll save me so much time.
You already admitted to your cheating with brushstrokes.
Okay, everybody vote if you want Cal to start taking pictures.
Okay, alright, I know what I have to do now. Alright, I say Chris Shah, and then I do this.
Where are you going?
Where are you going?
Fine, I can do it by myself. Technique isn't, just changed to now. Just changed. Now we got Bear. I will wear the red, the brass, the bronze, Khan, the betrayer. Yeah! No. No betrayals here. It's a WAYPN. WAYPN say no. No corn. Only masa, okay? Apologies. Man, this cough is getting to me. Alright, Bear. And now I want to paint World Eaters again. Alright, so let's take a look-see here. Spent a bit extra time on this fella, so says Krisha.
She locked me out.
I didn't lock nobody out. You decided to leave. Good boy. Love me some corn flakes in the morning. Yeah, I love corn. I love corn. You remember the corn boy?
Yes, I remember you obsessing over the corn boy.
Corn is the best. I love it.
Now I get to have this drink, and Sunny has this bit of it.
No, I have the other one.
Because she always takes my drink.
I didn't take
and my
it.
mouse.
I asked for it.
But this seems to be some sort of wolf priest. Because of all the wool.
Oh.
Wolof.
He is very wolfy.
Get it?
What do you think of the fur here? I think this fur is more correct.
Yeah, I feel like this fur is more correct. Gives better contrast. I like this, but I do feel like the wash was too heavy in here. Like, you see how we're going black in some areas? In there. And along over here. I feel like up here is more where we want to be.
Up at the very tippy tips?
Yeah, so you see along here where we've got that. And then in here, it's almost black.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, like...
because like you got those pelts where it's almost like sort of very dark fur underneath, and then it goes into like a brown, into like a whitish.
I understand what you're saying, but it doesn't look that deliberate. Like here,
Logan Grimm.
Yeah, it's over there.
Where?
There.
Oh right. We can take a
look. Oi! You just stop it.
I want to see.
No, you destroy everything.
I didn't do anything.
You almost fell out of your chair and pushed over the drink.
I realized that and I stopped.
Every day.
Anyway, I think it looks great. Tomas, what are your commentary on the battle damage here?
Well, so that's sort of one of the things that I wanted to talk about, right? Like, one of the issues with doing character level, right, going up, is you have to have that level of consistency. Because here, I think the cloak looks great, the way that it's got that fade to black, right, as if like there's no light coming in there.
Yeah.
I think that the power armor looks great. I like the way that he's done the red into the yellow. Like, I think it's a bit of a push too far, but I still think it looks good. And like we see all of these little tiny bits of damage and so on. We can still see the triangles from his company, all of this sort of stuff, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of effort in there. I think that the leather looks great, all of this sort of thing. And this is why I don't quite like this. Because I think like that looks just black and looks like low effort compared to everything else. Now, maybe this is his intention, right? But, like, remember, it's not your intention, it's how things actually come out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do agree, but I feel like it looks like matted fur,
Yeah, I'm following what you're saying.
Which I don't necessarily mind, because it has a little bit more of that wild look.
Yeah.
I come for the critique and I stay for the comedy.
I see. Well, it wasn't comedy. She was going to fall over.
Ugh.
It's true. It is very much true.
More from Chris Shah.
Chris Shah? Oh, Chris. Yes.
Chris Shah.
He had ambition.
Had ambitions to spend more time with Harry Brush on this army. I honestly don't know how people do it on our entire army. I don't. People don't. Period.
I do sadness.
Yeah, sadness.
That's this one over here. The one drinking out of the can,
I can go
turning
back
it
to
upside
Singapore,
down.
No problem.
Oh yes, I'm sure
I
you
can
can.
go back.
No problem at all.
I'll go back.
To what? What do you go back to?
To my house.
To your house where your room taken by your grandma, huh?
It's fine.
You.
I sleep on floor.
You sleep on floor?
It's
good.
Not like I
You sleep on floor today?
No,
we will do this. All right, okay. Your terms are acceptable.
Okay, all right. Buy me the ticket. Buy me ticket. Go home.
Nope. I'm not spending more money on you.
You heard it here first, folks.
But yeah. So I think like I know exactly what you're saying, Chris. Like brushwork take time. Brushwork take time, my dude.
Which is why so many peoples do the majority airbrush way.
Yep.
Which I presume you have an airbrush.
Yeah, no, that's what he was saying. He was trying to do more brushwork, but then he's just like, nope, I'm out.
And then you'll feel like, oh, but it doesn't match the others, and then you gotta go back in, and then you end up doing all the things.
Let's not talk about that. We're moving on.
Thomas says, weathering on the gun should be made by dry brush. Guns aren't painted so they don't chip. They slowly get polished.
Alright. Let's move on to the one name, the Joseph name.
Okay.
Oh, no, hold up. Is this?
It is. Joseph.
Where does this
maybe
Kid Strong come from?
It switched places or something. Or maybe you didn't open it up.
You are correct. It did not open up for some reason.
Okay. I finished 5 models and got 6 more built primed.
Hey, that looks pretty good.
And did some starter airbrush work. It's all Kingdom Death. I love the skin on the tummy. Like it's
it does look very nice.
But the face,
the face is not too bad. The eyes aren't too bad for him. They do have the goober eyes a little bit. He's a bit. I'm stoned.
I don't think the cleave is too overshadowed. I think you might want to bring in a bit more flesh tone there.
Let's take a look. Yeah, basing looks good, except I think the tuft is too big.
It is
too big.
You could have that tuft, but perhaps at the back, so like you could have moved it to the front.
No, I think tuft not good for this one. This has come up all right, but it's obvious that it's just dry brushing. I think it's meant to be feathers.
Is it feathers?
Yeah, and see, like, it's meant to be those sort of peacock feathers. Yeah. So then...
It's not bad at it.
Okay, so that's her mask. And
I can barely see what the mask...
I think maybe on the next shot we will... Okay,
like
do
bangs.
we have a better shot of the mask? We do not. This is the best shot. We have the mask holding up her boobies.
So it looks like she's got a whip made of her own hair, sort of thing.
I don't know what's going on.
It does seem that way.
It's
a hair whip.
Well, anyway, there's this lady who has much better composition.
What about the face? I feel like the face is thrown.
Yeah, the face is not the best.
But everything else is great.
Yeah,
everything else is great color choice, great contrast, great textures, very clean. But then the face ruins everything for me. I'm sorry, Joseph.
I think that is unfortunately a bit of Joseph's issue at the moment. Like, I think he's doing really well in so many other areas, and then he just.
Joseph, I would recommend to start with the face next time around.
Okay,
start with the face and then move on to other things. The body, the hair, and the cloaks and things like that. We've got Ducky. I love the voices Cal makes. You are just like Penguin. I'm ending the school holidays with a good laugh. Very good, very good. Tomas say the feather cape hat could use some tone shift to... yes, I agree, Tomas.
Oh my god.
Just quick wet blending.
Look at her face. She's just like...
Oh my good lord.
Where am I? Where am I? What am I doing? It looks like she's just been ranting and raving, and then like she realizes... Wait.
There's no one here.
Well, no, like, I'm in the middle of the mall. And there's people staring at me.
I think the tummy could be blended a bit more. Cause yeah, so you've got very harsh lines there. I think just blend it a little bit more there. And
hair's not bad.
Maybe a bit of shine lines if you want. But like, I know you're going for more like tabletop plus. Oh my goodness gracious.
Wow.
That is barely dressed. That is barely dressed, my guys.
I do not know how this piece of cloth stays attached to that belt.
Yeah, that undie would be falling down. Falling down, my guy.
Yes.
But anyways, kingdom death logic. None of
Kingdom death logic, yes.
Doesn't make sense. Like women don't get hurt in battle. You know.
But yeah, and now here's your favorite whip lady. Oh my goodness.
Oh no.
Oh no, the eyes.
I'm sorry, Joseph, but I think this might be your worst work yet. Like this,
with the eyes?
No, like this batch in general. Like I'm very used to seeing him have these very lovely smoother blends, especially with the skin. And the face usually looks good, but then the eyes will usually be dodgy, but like I think he might have rushed things this time. Not sure.
I don't know.
But it's not your usual level of work, I will have to say.
Well, this lady doesn't look too bad over here.
Yeah, but you see how the it's a bit sort of patchy, the marks?
Yeah.
Like he's usually very smooth with his stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you know, some days we don't do so great, you know?
I have some ideas, but YouTube would ban me if I wrote them.
Oh.
Interesting.
No, I see them.
Well, there's some more very clothed ladies.
Yeah.
But these, like, the face is really good on her.
I think if the sculpts were a bit more sort of clear.
Yeah.
He does fairly well.
All right, let us move on to who have we got up? Oh, it's me. It's me saying.
Where's my drink?
You finished it.
Oh.
You finished your drink, and then you pushed the can into my face, and then you looked at the bin.
I did not.
And then I put your can in the bin.
Oh, damn sorry.
What do you mean, where is your drink?
I forgot.
I
ain't gonna read your post. Hey, Rumble.
Next up is Kit.
You are 1 hour 30 minutes late.
Next up is Kit.
Monday Whip started putting color on the Mead and the Troll, using a combination of Ionic, Smart Colors, and Chimera Velvets. My old neck injury has been bothering me lately, so painting sessions are quite brief and sporadic. And things are progressing nicely in my learn to draw effort. A week ago, I could barely draw stick figures and non-shaded cubes. Today was lesson 6 of my 21 learn to draw in 21 days course. And I think these marshmallow mens are very, very
nice. All right. Do you want to say anything about the drawing?
I was thinking about it, but I guess the only thing that I would maybe point out is the direction of the shading for the wall there.
Yeah.
Perhaps you should go more towards the... So it's pointing downwards, right?
I'll give you the mouse so you can move it around.
So the direction is pointing downwards. You want it to go this way, so that the perspective follows the line of the cube.
Okay.
But I mean, like, this is stuff that I did when I was a kid. You know, like, these are very beginner level mistakes, or like, you know, he's doing what most people do when they start out. So.
I see. Alrighty then. It looks like we are on to our next, which is Karl.
You?
No.
Oh, the real Karl. More
I'm
mutant
the real Karl.
ginger rats.
Mutant ginger. Mutant ginger
It looks
rats.
like the Japanese pickled ginger. Pink. Like that. Ginger.
So I feel like they need some more color. Like, I feel like if you're going to do these sort of skin-colored rats, flesh-colored rats, that maybe make their eyes green or something instead.
Yeah, like, because it's all just one.
Yeah, it's like monochromatic.
It needs more variation. Like, at least the eyeballs a different color, the nose, the teeth, or something.
Ginger rats have no soul stones. But also the basing needs something. Just like there's not enough elements. It's just sort of sand and nothing else. You need 2 other elements at least with it.
Yeah.
But like, I think that despite that, like, the skins come off well. I might even put like a bit of a red wash around where there still is skin, as if it's irritated by it. What is
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah, use words.
Just say yeah.
Yeah, you don't stick your tongue out and go, why? Okay. You are like a child.
Yes.
You are like a child. All right, moving on. Yeah, and basically we've had some bad news, some really not good stuff told to us, and yeah, it means that things are going to be much more difficult for us, but we're just going to keep plugging along because, I mean, like, that's what happens. You just got to keep plugging, guys.
Rumble say, we all know ginger rats live in barren wastelands of one type of sand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so
David
Cohen's done this, and we know quite a bit about this. So he wanted to do a sort of naturalistic sort of thing. He's been working on his color scheme for a really long time, and I think it's worked out really well here.
I like this, actually. It feels very knightly.
Yeah, it does feel very knightly. So
yes, it's GW.
Sorry? Yeah, it is GW stuff. But see, he's put his blockers in the right places now. Mm-hmm. So we've got the steel, and then we got the black, and then we got the bronze, and then we got the steel, and then we got the black, which is the leather and the bronze. So you've got each of these colors cleanly separated now. Like, the only place where we don't see that clean separation is in this area on the axe. And as far as that goes, like, that's extremely minimal compared to everything else. And I think it really, for an alternatives color scheme, it's doing exactly what it should. The only thing I'm looking at the moment is the pauldrons with the fur. The fur is the exact same color as the pauldron.
Oh, yes.
But
I wonder if it's just a base coat.
It might just be a base coat. Like, this might turn brown or white or whatever it's going to be. But the point is with this, right? All of those blockers are quite solid. What are your thoughts?
I think it looks very clean.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that it looks super clean. And yeah, no, you've got like little elements on the power sword where you could like pick out the little wires or the nodes and things like that.
I do believe this is a whip.
Yeah, but it's a great start.
Yeah, no, it is an absolutely fantastic start.
I also like that on the backpack he's done the 2 jet areas bronze.
Yes, the upper area, yeah. And that's what I was talking about with the blocking.
But here's the thing, it looks great, right? But replicating this, because I believe he intends to make a bit of an army.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's always the way. But that's always the way it is with army painting. Like, there's always a million steps. It's just the way it is. Alright,
Axe Blade came out great, says Tomas.
Yeah, let us move on to our next one, which is Larry. And no, Rumble, there's only really one, but It's as far as lore goes, it's a long story and it's a frustrating one. To glow or to not to glow? Yes. That is the question.
I think the answer is always to glow.
Well, for Larry it is to glow.
Yeah, exactly.
So now we've got his 12-step program chips right here.
Oh, don't say that.
Okay, well, it's 3-step program then. Is there 1, 2, 3? The steps?
Okay.
What? What? What?
Are
you only allowed to be the funny one? I'm not allowed to be funny.
You're not ha-ha funny.
I'm not ha-ha funny.
You're not ha-ha funny.
Alright, well, you can do the rest of the commentary then.
Well, yeah, I mean, oh, look at that. Glow pigment, soul green. Well...
So, what do you think? To glow or to not to glow?
So, I think... I don't know, are you going to add that pigment powder to this guy or no?
Is he going to glow?
Is he going to glow?
Is he going to glow? That's the question. To glow or to not to glow? You're just going to cough and splutter and not actually comment. Okay.
I think whitewashing is the best way to go.
Whitewashing?
Yeah, pin white.
Pin white?
Pin white wash.
You're calling me some sort of pinhead?
Yes. Use the white ink and wash into the recesses.
For what? With white. In here?
Yeah.
Where are we whitewashing?
In the runes. Inside them. In the runes.
Okay, there we go. Sonny thinks that you should pin wash in the runes and make them glow. Is this correct?
Correct.
Oh my god, Rumble. 3 out of 12 ain't bad. Oh my god. Alright, so next up we have Paul Inman.
We got Paul Inman with a beautiful diorama.
Yeah, no, it is very beautiful.
Hey folks, not posted for a while. Life has been somewhat busy. I painted this recently as a wedding gift for my brother and his wife. They had a very small wedding. TCMY church service. BBQ in their back garden and saved the money for an amazing honeymoon instead. I like that idea. They both fairly comfortable in life in terms of income and assets like house, furnishings, etc. So they don't really need anything. But it's my brother and it was his wedding. I couldn't do nothing. They both love fantasy RPGs and board games, and my brother is also a wargamer. They also love the Peter Jackson Middle-earth films, and their wedding rings were matching. Handmade replicas of the One Ring from the films. So,
oh no. Oh no.
So I had what?
Because that's the Ring of Power. Sauron's ring.
Okay.
What? You know all about the... She is a liar. She is a liar. Do not believe her.
What? I don't do anything. What I do?
You with... Are you all?
What I do?
Are you all? Finish your story.
So I had an idea. Make them a wedding gift. Make them something totally unique that nobody else on Earth has. And this is what I came up with. A small diorama of Aragorn and Arwen, the romance story from the films. Riding across the wilds of the Middle Earth. Placed under a glass cloche. Pronounced cloche. Okay, cloche. I had enjoyed making this immensely. Not just because it was a gift I was excited to give, but also because making a diorama is something I don't get a lot of opportunity to do. I won't lie, the Aragorn model was not fun to paint. It was a fine cast model with a lot of imperfections. Arwen was a little better being a metal miniature, but otherwise from everything went swimmingly, and I'm really happy with the end result as they were the happy couple.
Well, it's really funny. One of my commissionees wants me to get an Arwen for them as soon as available, and it's always out of stock. And that's because his wife says he wants an elf waifu. So it's ironic that, you know, you're making this for you know, your brother and his wife, and you know, she is the elf waifu.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I think it looks really good. I really
it's
like.
a very beautiful piece.
I really like the way that he's done the water, like it's a rapid river sort of thing.
I feel like going over with something like one of those very thin blue contrast paints that we had, just to.
No, I like it this way. You can disagree. You're allowed to disagree.
I just feel like it needs a tinge of blue because right now it looks like grey and then white. So I feel like if it was like blue to white, like in a white water river, I like yes.
Okay, I can see what you're saying, but I think it looks good. Yeah, I also like what he's done with the tufts of flowers.
I feel like if we were to do dioramas, we should do it like this, like in the cloche.
No, I think that's a good idea.
We've got like these deep set picture frames that we planned to try and do a diorama inside the picture frame.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll ever do that. There.
We've got a lot on, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And, yeah. A lot of limitations now.
Yeah, Bear says, oh, wow, this looks amazing.
It does look amazing.
Yes.
All right. Now, we've only got 3 left to go.
Righto. I've got more from Joseph. Oh, my goodness.
They've got slightly more clothes.
Well, that one does.
Some of them
more
do.
More progress on more pinups. And then you've got her.
She knows what clothes are.
Because, yeah.
She knows that they exist.
Indeed.
She doesn't know how to wear them, but I mean, she knows that they exist.
Well, I really like the gold armor, actually.
You know, eventually you're going to, like, years down the line, you're going to end up buying me some of these.
Huh?
And then I'll have to paint them.
Why would I buy you KDM models?
Oh, it's okay. But I have to buy them for you. Alright, I understand.
Got all your KDM models.
We're actually behind on our KDM stuff, like everything else. So, it's time for you to do some reading.
Alright. We got John. Yes.
Gas. Gotta give it the gas tonight.
Finally.
It's harder to sing when you've got something on your tongue.
Oh yeah, I got a little.
I got
eclipse.
mint. I have to have the minty freshness for the stream.
Why now?
I will tell you why.
Yeah.
I don't want them to feel disgusted by my breath.
So you decided you would not do that before?
No, because it was fine before.
It was fine before?
Then I had a drink. But I like this. I like the chipping.
Finally got the motivation to work one of my Salamander's Land Raider again. Use the Heresy era decals to add one more layer to help it stand apart from the Executioner, which will get 40k decals and is next on the agenda. It's getting close to done, I think. Let me know what y'all think.
I think I really like the chipping that he's done. Yeah. Like here.
Oh man, I love that. That's the decal you're talking about, right?
Yeah, but I think he's done chipping to sort of bring it into this.
It's so characterful, you know,
and,
like all these.
And like right here, this bit of chipping right there, I really like that. Like, it's just wear and tear, but it looks so good. But I do think that if you're going to do this kind of subtle chipping, you really need to do chipping along here, because, like, that's a ladder. That's a ladder. And this thing...
I feel like that ladder should be steel rather than...
Sure, but either way, there should be damage along here. And the other thing is, this thing kicks out. It'll, like, boom, onto the ground. Right? So, like, I feel like that needs a bit more chipping. I feel like there's too much of a mix between absolutely perfect and nice subtle chipping. Like here, absolutely perfect, no chipping. Right? And then like nice subtle chipping.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be more damage.
Yeah, like I'm not saying so much that it's absolutely demolished or anything, but yeah.
Yeah. I would say so.
So, Ryan says used white oil paint diluted with spirit mithrils. What? I English. You're in English.
Mineral spirits.
Spirits. What about the spirits?
Moving on. We have.
No, he says, wow, that looks amazing.
Yeah, but Ghost was talking about the other one. This one.
This one?
Yeah.
Not about this one.
No.
But it is wow, looks amazing. This is a wow, looks amazing.
Yes, but it was
okay,
not
thank you. I'm glad you said it looks amazing. And then,
we got
our very last one. But we will have more next week.
Close to done. A lot of little touch-ups and small details to do, like the little bug bots, all over the place. Took some advice from various people on here and the Discord for the glow. The body runes had a very thinned white base with gauze green overlay. The rib cage had thinned ivory filling them with tesseract glow over it, then layers of transparent shading grey over it, thinned to various degrees to try to get a fade effect. I like it when looking at the figure, but photos don't look as good, so I'm not sure it works. It'll probably have to do... Sorry, it'll probably have to, and any advice, make it better while we'll just carry over the next Necron. Oh, also glued on the cape thing.
So, I'd say the one thing is here is get yourself some white alcoholic ink.
White oil paint. Mineral
alcohol.
Spirit, thin it down.
And dot it in there, and then just put the Tesseract glow into it, and then I think you're pretty much fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was for the axe runes for the space wolf. Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think he's pretty much there.
I
Larry.
quite like the cape. Like you got that shading done.
Yeah.
With the cape and it looks quite nice. I think if you even...
Do you think, like, a pin wash with this would really help?
I was considering that, actually. I thought it might be a nice touch.
The Land Raider also looks amazing. See? Told you. I knew what he was talking about. He says it's amazing.
But I would think that if he wants to do a pin wash at the back and here, it's going to be very difficult. So I think leave it alone.
Leave her alone?
Yeah, I gotta leave it alone.
Leave me alone! Like Akira. And you throw your hand away. And then we had the boom. You don't know what I'm talking about. See, I don't know which song you're trying to imitate with No, not... Akira is not Death Note.
Oh, okay, say Akira.
You actually know animes, but you just refuse to actually pretend like you know them.
Akira, I don't know if I know Akira. I don't
you
think
do
I've
know
watched.
Akira.
Oh, that's Alita Battle Angel.
Oh my god, she's doing it deliberately. I swear, folks. I swear.
Not true. I have never watched Akira yet. I've not watched it yet.
She says all these things, like.
Anyway.
Like that one where you go, keep those brushes wet. What? What did you say?
I didn't put the music.
It didn't put the okay. All right. Give me all right. Let me put the outro music in. All right. You ready? All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. And I do want to say it's the positive response that we've had to our unfortunateness is very nice, and I'm glad to know that you guys are thinking about us, and I'm very glad to have the community that we do. But there's one thing that you can do for each other, which is comment, talk to one another, and keep those brushes wet.
Oh, too late.
Bit off. Just a little bit.
Yeah, but it's always
A little off.
That was too late or too early.
It's a capillary action.
Yeah, it's the capillary action.
Du-du-du-du.
Hey.
It's been very nice spending time with everyone.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.